5 will go to 3 come the end of this event. We are 2 races then from the end of what has been a long and arduous series for these drivers who have been pushing themselves to the metal then around the oval tracks here and a couple of road circuits around the world. This is your Thursday Xfinity series. We are live on iRacing Live, brought to you by RaceSpotTV. Next.
Let's get it, let's go! Let's get ourselves underway. Mark Day with a save of a magnificent proportion. Looks to the inside, and maybe there's a chance. A bit of a slide then, little bit of a shot to the back bumper, and he continues to look.
A very, very adaptable oval to go then with just a couple of moments left then in qualifying right now before we line up then for the grid, then to take us with the pace car to go and get ourselves over right now. The chase is well and underway. We're at the stage of 5, which will turn to the stage of 3 for the season finale next week at Las Vegas. And well, you have to say right now, qualifying pretty much all but done in your books then here from the wonderful circuit here in Fontana, California. This is also Club Speedway. It's 2 miles. It's perfect. It's qualifying all set and done, except that you've got to get to the checkered flag. That's what everyone will be trying to do right now. The likes of Jeff Dotson, Logan Crest going for one final Hail Mary to get himself 1/100th of a second quicker than the current pole sitter right now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jake Sperry joined alongside by Connery Maddock. We know how difficult of a circuit this is, Connery. It's difficult, it's banked. You remember the incident that we saw in 1999 in the kart series. Greg Moore passing away in qualifying, and also Jimmy Johnson getting his first win here in the Sprint Cup series in 2002. A great circuit with a lot of iconic history.
Yeah, it really is, and it's a pretty challenging one on the drivers due to the age of the asphalt right here. There's quite a lot of bumps in the road which can unsettle the car, get the back end out, even cause some pushing at some points as well. So it's pretty unpredictable. But I think the drivers are going to be dealing well with it as qualifying comes to an end, and we might want to run through the grid here.
Yes, we certainly will, and this is how the grid is then going to look then as they line up inside pit lane right now. Front row then, Chad Coleman then hasn't made his way into the chase, but Logan Crest has. Just a reminder then on your graphic right now, anything that is highlighted yellow above a name, that indicates that there will be a driver of that in the chase right now. Logan Crest then, second at the moment. Evan Black there on the inside of row 2 has Thomas Peterson there alongside in 4th. Corey Silver has already booked his place into the chase. They win at Montreal last week. He will there be alongside on row 3 with chase contender Glenn Bowen. Brandon Kreutz then will line up on row number 4 inside. Mark Day on the outside with Mike Thompson also in the chase on the inside of row 5. Outside row 5 then will be Craig Day. Row 6 then sees Dale Stanley and Charles Smith with Stefan Vang there in 13th with Leolan Bourdage, the French-Canadian, in 14th. Simon Thorns there is in 15th position with Dode Hoskins on the outside of row 8. Row 9 will see Joshua Medlock even and Jeff Dotson then. And row 10, James Ray and John Gilmore Smith. Well, this is going to be a difficult race here, Connery. We've got ourselves 85 laps, an hour and 50 minutes on the clock if we should so need it here. We are expecting pit stops. We are looking at about 30, 40 laps then on a stint. We're looking at tyres very much have a potential to go off as the pace car gets itself away. 2 miles, banking, pretty much normal you could say for an oval. It's got a lovely little arcing tri-oval coming in to a beautiful section, and 5 lanes, meaning you can really attack the course.
Yeah, you really can, as we actually have a look at the points standings right here in terms of the chase. Corey Silver is the only driver locked into the round of 3, so he basically doesn't really have to run this race, but he still is. Evan Black in 2nd place and Logan Cress in 3rd place in the standings, both separated by only 1 point. Glenn Bowen in 4th place, currently only missing out on the final 3 spots by a single point. Mike Thompson missing out on those final 3 spots by 5 points, so it's very, very tight for the Cup.
It certainly is tight for the Cup. 2 points split, 3 drivers, so every point matters. Remember, win and you are in to that final chase. Only if you are in the chase, though. If you take the win and you are not in the chase, well, congratulations, take yourself to victory lane, but no spoils for you. At Las Vegas, you can see Coleman will have control of the field in the 20. You can see the 30 waiting on the outside, who was so influential when we last saw these guys on our screens at Indianapolis Motor Speedway to try and break people into the chase. Pace car then just waiting on it then to drop itself down in onto the lane. It will, and now it's a case of waiting for the green flag. Coleman's going to hold everyone up, make sure they stack, make sure they wait, and he's starting to get a bit of a gap, but he doesn't get a jump and round the outside. Logan Cress, thank you very much. That's a big gift there from Logan Cress, and Chad Coleman then in all sorts of troubles. They're going to go 3 wide fan behind. Black, Peterson and Silver as well, then looking down onto the inside as well as they funnel it in then in towards 1 and 2. For the moment here, things stay all right then as things stand right now, Connery.
Yeah, Logan Crest starting to break away at the front as we're still seeing 2x2 racing back in the pack. The 8 and the 5th 93 still trying to go side by side, but Krutz is just losing him. He'll actually dive it down the inside at turn 3, try and get that position done. Evan Black kind of hung up to dry on that high side. He'll get the run off the corner. Here comes Thomas Peterson in the number 9 as well as he milked his way down the inside on the front straight.
Yeah, starts to move a little bit up there, gave the room, but you can see there's no one really helping here. Evan Black in the number 8, he will start to be a little bit of an anchor then as he falls away. See, he has to lose the position then, coming down into 1 and 2. 1 lap then score complete. You can see just how they check up a little bit then, down on the inside. You've got to be careful here. There is the verb to auto club here, Connery, where you just clip the apron coming down into the corner, and it's so easy then with the difference of traction levels then to see it go in. Black back to the inside.
Yeah, he is from outside to inside he goes this time around, but not able to make any ground on that number 9 of Thomas Peterson. He's going to come under threat soon here from the 70 as Glenn Bowens. They dive down towards the apron, trying to take the shortest distance possible out of turn 4 all the way down to turn 1, and that could gain you a 10th or so.
Yeah, 10th or so is all that is needed here. Just check up, look at the front of the field. Brandon Kreutz then wants to get on Corey Silver's back here, battling for 3rd position then on circuit, looking for the podium right now. As things stand, Crest would get into the chase then, leading things currently right now. It's Crest, Coleman, Silver, Kreutz, Peterson there. Black then would be 6th position right now and would book a place in the chase if he stays where he is right now. Not close enough, and the draft coming in to pay a little tap on the wall there from Chad Coleman in the 20. Gets himself okay with it right now, but you can't take liberties here, Connery. Not at this circuit, not at any circuit. Side by side though, Day and Thompson going at it into turn 1.
Yeah, so number 76, Mike Thompson down towards the inside at turn 1. Mark Day on the outside will have the run off of the corner if he can hold it around there. Look behind though, there's that number 55, Dale Stanley. He may look to get involved in this one as they still take it 2 wide coming down the back straight. Number 55 might try around the outside of the number 76 coming down into turn 3. He will go up there. I don't know if he'll be successful though, as we see Mark Day drop down to the bottom of the track.
Yeah, you can see there that pretty much says signed, sealed, complete, and couldn't get the move then for Dale Stanley, but someone else is trying to make the move then is Stefan Vang right now. Charles Smith down on the inside, Simon Thorne's waiting behind then in the middle of your pack then as they head down into 1 and 2, then they come along. Left hand side is Charles Smith, down on the bottom. On the top there is Vang. Vang will have to relinquish it for the moment. We'll try and get the drive then off the second part then of the oval. Won't quite happen just yet though. They remain side by side as he gets better traction coming off the exit and has the toe as well as a little bit of help. Then Smith is a little bit isolated on the inside. Will now have a driver to help him just ahead in that form of what is Craig Day on the inside. Looking at Dale Stanley starting to fall back then just a little bit side by side in your mid pack, certainly heating up. And look at the front of your field again here, Connery, because here comes Corey Silver now looking all over the back of Chad Coleman. Doesn't have to do anything here to lose his place in the chase. He's already signed and sealed, but another win will just go to emphasize just what sort of a driver he is.
Yeah, definitely as he follows the number 20 of Chad Coleman all the way down this backstraight. Top 3 only within a couple of tenths of a second. They're currently pulling away from the 4th place driver Brandon Kreutz in that 93 machine as they head their way down through turn 3 and 4. Battle back in your pack though between Craig Day, the second day in this field, then the number 43, and Dale Stanley, number 55, just hung out to dry on the outside, making under threat from the 85.
Yeah, you can see now the 85 then looking to try and get into it. Stefan Vang at the moment. And then you got Thorns then having problems. Smith there. Bordage then waiting at the back of this one then as they head themselves into 1 and 2 for the 7th time out of 85 right now. All laps so far have been classed as green right now. You can see Stanley looking again at Day, but you can see that gap about 2-3 tenths not going to happen just for the moment, or actually I can say 1 tenth as things stand right now. Silver again all over the back. Coleman now here all over the back of Logan Crest. Crest now starts to feel the effects of being the front man, and Coleman now could play strategy here in this situation. Connery doesn't have to go to the race lead if he so wants, but the race lead, it's the cleanest part of the circuit and it's the chance to get away. He goes high side, and you can see now there's the price that is being paid right now, because here comes Corey Silver looking at the inside thinking, you know what, now I've got an overlap.
Yeah, but the number 20 will have a slight run on your race leader, Logan Crest. Chad Coleman will head down towards the inside at turn 3, challenging for the race lead. Number 30 will just have to hang it around the outside here as they go 2 by 2 through turn 3 and 4. Still neck and neck on the exit. They will take this as a drag race down the pit straight.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be Chad Coleman who wins the lap this time by, and he will score a bonus point then for leading a lap in the race. 12 thousandths of a second then, all to split them then when they came across the line as these three look to try and break away. Now again, Silver will look down to the inside here and try and get it. Coleman just rides up the circuit a little bit, and here's the up and under then from Silver, who's going to get one in Logan Crest then as they all start to change positions and get away here from the driver of Peterson and Cruz behind. And now to the inside then, Corey Silver, he'll get himself then up to the race lead, and he will look to try and score himself that all-important point. Up and under though from Chad Coleman. He's not going to let this one go very, very easily. Thorns has hit the wall somewhere, Connery, as well, further back in your pack, so he is in a world of trouble right now.
Yes, he is, as you see the leaders yet again going 2 by 2, coming down into turn 120. Chad Coleman on the inside, Corey Silver on the outside. Corey Silver having a great traction off of that outside. Yes, be careful not to hit the wall here, as there's a good foot between him and the wall there, so he judged that correctly. He's still in lead, moves towards the inside, maybe just trying to break the draft. A little bit of IndyCar drafting right here. Logan Crest right on the number 20's bumper.
Yeah, and he's looking at it right now, but you can see he just carries a little bit more than coming in. You can see 167 miles an hour in the mid part of the corner, looking to get itself away. Remember, the bonus points in this event is you get 1 bonus point for the fastest lap. You will get 1 bonus point then for leading the most laps in the race, and you will also get 1 bonus point for leading 1 or more laps during the event. As things currently stand into 1 and 2, then your leaders come along. Fastest lap at the moment from Chad Coleman is a 40.7 overall. You look at the likes of a 40.8 for Silver, fanning out they go then, and a 40.7 from Logan Crest. Crest then will take the slipstream and say thank you very much. Second place then will now turn and be mine as he looks to chase against the chase leader, the man who already has a place booked then, which he booked at the circuit, Gilles Villeneuve, not in Vancouver, but in Montreal. And you can see right now Logan Crest looking to try and use that slipstream, but he's not going to take any risks here, Connery. Not going to the apron here. Doesn't feel that he has to here, where Corey Silver feels that maybe he needs to have that little bit more insurance.
Yeah, and these guys also have to be careful with all the fighting they're doing this early on in the race, because if this race goes green for quite a long rate, those tyres are definitely going to suffer. As back in the pack, the 8 and the 93, they're just having a little bit of a battle, but Brandon Kutz just has to fall behind. But as I was saying, if those top 3 fight for much longer, those tyres are really, really going to suffer. And if Thomas Peterson in that 4th place has been saving his tyres, he may come into play later on.
Yeah, he certainly will, and that is going to be one of the keys then you need to look at then, as we have just seen the 8 of Evan Black then make his way through then on Brandon Cruz, then gets himself up into position 5 then here right now, making a recovery drive as things stand. Let's get a graphic up of your biggest moves and shakers inside your top 10, and well, surprise, surprise, Corey Silver winning that one, started 5th. Up to your race lead and looking to try and control things from the front. Black will get himself then into the chase if things stay like this. No cautions then so far on 13 laps. It's been nice and clean racing here that we have seen all this time, and you can see again here at the front just starting to check up a little bit. Now Logan Crest then looks to get the overlap, looks to get an up and under here, and Silver might try and pinch the man. He's not going to pinch him enough though, in my opinion. They're going to remain side by side as they head to 1 and 2, and another change of position there, Connery, looking pretty much signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah, as Logan Crest dives it down towards the inside wheel, we see like a little bit of an undercut here from Corey Silver. No, he just has to file in behind Chad Collin right on his left rear quarter panel there, riding him up the track right there as they both have the run on your leaders. Look at them, absolutely nose to tail coming down the back straight. Oh, you can't really get much closer than that, but they're still going to have to file single file through here as Corey Silver pulls down towards the apron. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Maybe he's trying to use that to his advantage, but he ends up losing the position to the 20.
Yeah, he's got to be careful about that. He can't afford really to lose it for the race win. He's not fighting for chase points here. He's already there. So you have to say he's now racing for the fun of it, and he's really looking to try and get himself right in underneath then the drivers that are looking to try and push themselves and get themselves into the chase. Keep an eye on the chase battle though in the second pack, because you've got the 70 of Glenn Bowen here on the back of Cruz, and there's Evan Black not too far in the distance, so there might be potential for attack then later on in this one. And Mark Thompson as well isn't that far behind as well. Needs to find himself a few more points if he wants to get himself into the chase. Might be reliant then on getting himself a victory. Right now Chad Coleman has made the pass. He gets himself up then into the race lead traffic for the first time. Gets himself out of the way. Simon Thorne's in the middle of the circuit, and Silver's going to try and ride it high. No, he's not. Gets himself down low then and tries to use as much as he can there, Connery, the slipstream to really get himself back into the game.
Yeah, but he really is, as that car is looking absolutely deathly loose for Corey Silver. He did hit the apron just a couple of laps ago, both in turn 3 and 4 and in turn 1 and 2, so he's really struggling with that car at the moment as it is, as again, your top 3 still very, very close as they come through turn 3 and 4. Looking back in your pack, number 43 and the 70 are going at it. Glenn Bowen, Mark Day. Bowen, one of those drivers that wants to secure themselves above the cut line for the last part of the season, and he needs every single point that he can get. He might get held up by some traffic here. Simon Thorne's on the top of the racetrack, has to force Glenn Bowen back to the inside.
Yes, he does, and now you can see this train of 3 that starts to break again. You got the likes of Brandon Cruz there, Mark Day, Glenn Bowen looking to get in on it. Mike Thompson then finally gets past the traffic and needs to get back into line here and get the toe here as much as he can right now. You can see Bowen now starting to fall backwards here, Connery. The tyre degradation starts to come into effect here. You look at the lap times that the leaders are doing. They are now about half a second to 3/4 of a second off the pace to where they were. You can see that effect is certainly going more and more in these Xfinity cars. You can see Bowen now going down to the inside, trying to minimise the line, prioritises it more than the slipstream and the toe. But the toe is so effective around here, it becomes pivotal to racing. Day all over the back then of Brandon Cruz.
Yeah, he really is. Now it's heading through turn 1 and 2. Mark Day will have a charge on the inside, gets the run off of the inside of the racetrack right there. The things equalize as they come down the back straight though, with the 93 defending on the outside of the track as they come down into turn 3. Mark Day may have this position right here as he does get in front, but will Kreutz have the run coming off of the outside of the track? He will not. Here comes Glenn Bowen as well.
Bowen now wants to make some headway here in this race. He'll look to the inside then. High line gonna go then from Brandon Kreutz. He'll try and use the banking to his advantage. Gravity will be there, but pinched high then as they head into NASCAR 1 and 2. Looking at this run then, it will be Bowen then who has it on the inside, but you can see though on the exit it will be Kreutz trying to come back, and he will have the slipstream effect coming in then from Mark Day in the 43. Not much that's going to be doing, so they're going to remain side by side then into 3 and 4 here, held up on high, and they touch then. Little bit of bumping between the two. Bowen can't afford it. It won't matter as much to Kreutz, and in the end Mike Thompson now getting in the mix, looking at the inside, gonna get the block. Not gonna happen right now here, Connery.
Not going to happen yet, but that has just made Mike Thompson a factor in this battle between the 70 and the 93. The 93 dives it down towards the inside. That was a very, very late move right there, but both drivers managed to get it slowed down before the apex of the corners. They'll take it side by side coming off of turn 2. But we gotta remember, this 76 will play a factor if these guys slow each other up too much. As again, Kreutz just has to fall in behind. He may have a look coming down on the inside, coming down into turn 3 and 4. But no, the 70 shuts the door.
The door well and truly shut then, and looking now to try and get back then to the driver of Mark Day in the 43. That gap looks considerably opened up then between the two, and the answer is about half a second. We'll be able to get the draft out of it, but at the moment that will work. Silver though is through on Logan Kress, who drops down to 3rd position, and as he stand, he goes for the up and under, but won't have the draft. Then you'll have to try and rely on that overspeed alone that he had to begin with, and now you can see that effect just scrubbing out as they go side by side in the battle for second place, allowing Coleman then to start to break away just a little bit. Without a win so far this season, and would really want one, was right up there in the running at Indianapolis, if you can remember, Connery. And now you can see here, with these two battling hard here, Silver and Kress, it's starting to allow Coleman to break to about a half a second gap.
Yeah, almost doing a little bump drafting coming down the front straight right there. I know we've seen a lot of that this week, but it's certainly unusual as Corey Silver looks towards the inside of turn 1 and 2. Again, not gonna get it, as Logan Kress will get a slightly better run off of the corner. Will Corey Silver have a look coming down into turn 3? I don't think he'll be close enough. It'll be a hopeful dive from here. Looking back in your pack though, it is still relatively single file all the way down, so we're in a little bit of a lull here. Jake Driver's just settling down now.
Drivers are settling down. Evan Black, those making moves. He's now past Peterson then for 4th position. He's only 3.3 off the race lead right now, and will be looking to try and chase, use the power of his Xfinity machine as much as he possibly can to bring himself back into this one. The pit stop window then looking to open in about 10-ish laps time. Then we are starting to think now, as you can see, high line from Mark Day, a little bit of a mistake then that's happened for him, and now you can see here comes Bowen on the inside, wants to get the run to 3 and 4, holds 170 miles an hour. Day will match him, but that big mistake allows him back into the party. Takes the high line again. Underneath that though, you've got Thompson then at the inside of Kreutz then, who was there up there fighting earlier on in this race, starting to fall back just a little bit. Peterson then through on Evan Black as well, all starting to kick off then here. The packs here of 2 looking to battle. Let's go Noah's Ark, side by side, 2 by 2. No, let's not do it. Bowen still on the inside to 1 and 2, Connery.
Yep, he is, and as I said, he's one of those drivers that's only 1 point off of making the cut for the final 3 in the chase coming towards the end of this season, as he will get through on Mark Day. Mark Day will actually try to reply on the left-hand side of the track, actually backs out of that particular move, but here comes Mike Thompson and Brandon Kreutz as well. They have made some ground on these two and made it a pack of 4.
Pack of 4 it will be, and these 4 will need to chase. 2 of them have ideals of catching Black in the 8 just ahead. Remember, if they get past Black, they get into the chase. Not for Mike Thompson though, he needs to do a little bit more work. Then inside he'll go on the driver of Day, pinched a little bit then down to the apron then. gets himself the room then as they all go high, and he'll get one. He might get two as well here as Kreutz now dives it down the inside as they try to rubber up different lanes, and you can see just stuck on the outside is the driver of Bowen, and Bowen now will lose it. Thompson to the front of the pack now as they look to chase Black and Peterson just ahead. The front though has completely opened up, 8 tenths to the leader, another 5 tenths back to Silver. The pack battling there has completely dissipated, and now a caution might just help everyone as Peterson even, I should correct myself, has a little graze of the wall there, Connery, a little bit careful, was in the chase to begin with, was eliminated in the final 8 stage, and now looking to try and make his own and prove why he was so good here in the final 5 stage.
Yeah, as Mike Thompson goes a little bit deep for my liking coming down into Tier 1, but manages to get it slowed down, perhaps trying a couple of different lines there through the corner, but they're still going to stay single file coming off of Turn 2. Brandon Kreutz all over the back of Mark Day, just backs off on the back straight as they go into Turn 3 and 4, and Brandon Kreutz way down to the inside as Mark Day looks towards the outside of Glenn Bowen ahead of them. They'll take it too wide coming through Turn 3 and 4, but again, this is going to end up being single file again when they come onto the pit straight, or is it? Brandon Kreutz is still there. He's going to dive it down towards the grass, towards the apron, but he's going to lose ground as ahead of them, Glenn Bowen tries to make a move on Thompson.
Yeah, Bowen then looking to go on Thompson, needs to make the move and they need to start making ground here. They're 2.2 behind Evan Black. Just look at that, 43.1 then from Glenn Bowen that last time by a 43 flat from Evan Black. They are not catching, and now you're starting to feel that everyone who's looking at this thinking they have a chance, it's now about driving styles. They are looking to try and run it the best that they can. You can see again to the inside goes Day. Day's going to get it. Now you're going to see here the driver of Kreutz start to get himself then into the mix right now. We got side by side 2 deep here. Smith, Stanley, and also Vong and Day. Day looking to the outside then, looking to try and get the right, and into the wall there goes the driver of what was Dale Stanley. Momentum goes away, and that's a big one then for him as he now starts to struggle and will lose all ground then. Will get himself back in the tow, but how much damage would he have, Connery, on that right hand side that will make the car feel very, very heavy?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the front of that car and it looks like the wheel arch has been pushed back over the wheel, exposing the wheel to the air, so he'll definitely be hurting in terms of aerodynamics around that car, perhaps hurting in terms of straight line speed as well. It's a surprisingly aerodynamic track. This one is one of the fastest ovals that there are next to Michigan and the super speedway tracks and Pocono and Indy, so he'll definitely be suffering for that one. Mike Thompson also trying to go side by side, Brandon Kreutz there as well, as this pack of 3 is still very, very close. Kreutz dives it down towards the inside. 76, almost around the outside, but here comes the run now for Mike Thompson on the outside. He'll have a worse corner entry, but he gets a much better corner exit on that high side.
Yeah, now you can see he's using the advantage and the tow as well, looking to make it all happen for him right now. And now is the thing that is going on. We do have ourselves 2 days. One is Craig in the 043, and then you've got the regular 43 in Mark Day. Just to make it a little bit more confusing, both days want the same number. So now that's something to keep in mind here, and it's going to keep our cameraman here on our toes, ladies and gentlemen. Right now you can see Thompson here looking at this drive here on Mark Day, the 43 here going on. Kreutz then just going to sit there, wait behind for the moment, dives it down to the inside, traffic gets out of the way. Joshua Medlock then gets himself 1 lap down for the moment on lap 30. Pit stop window then, you could say it's opened here just for the moment. Keep your eye though here, Connery, on the battle going on for 3rd position. Silver is starting to fall back a little bit here and might fall into the clutches of Black and Peterson right now. Bowen tries to pick away, and Day now, Mark Day in the 43, gets himself to the outside, then the 76 coming down to the inside. Chase competitor, let's try and make it go 3 wide. Not going to happen just yet.
No, it isn't, as we see your first blinker. That is Corey Silver heading his way down pit road. So he's thinking that now is a good time to pit first. One of the first ones down on pit road. Dude Hoskins is also down on pit road at the back of the field. But Corey Silver, first of your front runners to decide to come down pit road. So that is very, very interesting. I'm just having a look at what the lap times are compared to their best lap times. Chad Coleman did a 43.0 last time by. His best lap was a 40.7, so almost 2.5 seconds. They're running slower at the moment than they were at the start of the race.
Yeah, and that's going to be key here, as blinking early, there is an advantage. You can see then from the second pack, Kreutz will drop himself down onto the lane. Has anybody else joined himself there? Well, for the moment then, the answer is going to be no. So he will be the only one then down the lane at the moment. I like this decision as Silver gets himself back out behind Logan Crest, crucially, because he gets himself track position by using the tyres up early here, and he'll be banking on a caution to get himself back into position once the green flag cycle, or the pit stop cycle we should say, gets himself back together. What has to be remembered though, Connery, is the fact that if he uses his tyres too quickly, he becomes a sitting duck later in the run. If things stay green right now, at the moment though, he will be out of position if a caution were to fly right now.
Yeah, he will be, and I have to wonder if any of the drivers are thinking about a one-stop instead of a two-stop. A one-stop will take them to around about lap 43 is when they want to come in, so 10 laps from now. I think it's a little bit too much to stretch on the tyres as Logan Crest gets a big slide coming through turn 1 and 2. That is just exemplifying my point right there.
Yeah, it certainly is. Now you can see Corey Silver. He's going to make the overtake then on Chad Coleman, the race leader right now, and he will get himself then back the lap, and now is the time to really react right now. He's asking for it. Black then has made the move on Peterson once again. You can see still side by side is the 43 here, and also the 76 here of Mike Thompson looking to get into the mix. Bowen can't do anything about it. He's there up high and has lost the position to Kreutz, who is also pitting early and is getting track position. That's something that's going to be keeping into the minds of a couple of drivers here, because other drivers going early might get themselves into a position here where they are fighting for more than they would have bargained for to begin with, but they've got to be careful about who are already there and who are already towards the front here, Connery, because lack of communication on fast tyres compared to slow tyres could end in calamity.
Yeah, as Chad Coleman nears the 3-second deficit compared to his best lap time. So I don't even know what strategy is going to come out on top right here. We'll have to wait and see, because I think Chad Coleman, Logan Crest, Evan Blackheart will be going for this one stop instead of the two stop that a couple of drivers, Daniel Field plus Corey Silver, are going for right now. But they'll have to pit 10 laps later than Corey Silver did, and if they're losing, let's just be well, generous I guess, and say they're losing about 2 seconds a lap. That'll be lose 20 seconds out on track. You're on pit lane for about 43 or 45, so the one-stop strategy might be an option here.
One stop might be an option, so may the two. It will depend though, if we do see the cautions flags flying out. We haven't seen any today side by side. John Gilmore Smith in the 71 attacking the 43, coming back into it, and stayed quiet all race long, now starting to make his presence a little bit more felt then, as he gets himself through then on the 43 of Mark Day then, and he gets himself up then at the moment on track into 7th position. He started down at the back of the field, and he's just picked and choose his moments here, Connery. Got himself into the right position, and by my reckoning, I think it's a one-stop strategy for everyone in the field, apart from Silver, apart from the driver of Kreutz right now, who are taking that gamble as things stand, and hopes, and really does hope, that there isn't going to be a caution just yet.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that particular driver of Corey Silver. He's currently running 141.4s as he comes across the line. Chad Coleman currently running 43.3s. So that is around about a 2-second difference between those two drivers right now. So I think this one-stop strategy is currently the one you want to be on right now.
Yeah, it certainly is. Gilmore Smith then to the inside then of the driver of Mike Thompson, and he's going to get the position again, and he's running about half a second a lap quicker than everybody else. He is trying to make his way up against right now, just trying to look then at Gilmore Smith's race to see if he has come down onto the lane, and the answer is no, Connery. He's done so well at saving the tyres during his run, where everyone else has been battling, he hasn't. He's just been running cleanly and consistently, and now he's gaining, he's benefiting from just being that little bit consistent, as he's got himself now up into position number 6 on the road right now. The gap's starting to form. Crest though is looking to get himself back to Coleman, but now you can see Brandon Kreutz now will get the lap back and will look to now start to make the inroads here. Silver coming up like a hurricane though on the 043 of Craig Day right now. That's something to keep itself in mind right now, as he looks at Dale Stanley just ahead of them. Battle for 12 going on right now, Connery.
Yeah, it's the battle between the 55 and the 043, because there are two 43 cars in this field, one with the 0, one without. As Greg Day looks to try and catch right back out to the rear bumper of Dale Stanley, but it just isn't happening yet. I want to bring the discussion back to that 71 though, John Gilmore Smith. He was only running last time by 1/10 of a second slower than Chad Coleman is, so he's been done really well to save those tyres, qualifying at the back of the field, just making his way through very, very slowly, very calm and consistently, and not really getting into any fights.
Yeah, now he's a little bit stuck now because Bowen is running the same pace as him, just ahead in the 70 to 71. Starting to struggle a little bit here as he finds himself about 1.8 seconds then back of the driver ahead. He's not getting the benefit then of the tow as Mark Day, that is in the 43, comes under a threat now. The 17, Leolan Bordage then. Here, the Canadian tries to look at the inside. Not going to happen then. Down into 3 and 4. That's something then that they're looking at, and now everyone's starting to think halfway is coming, and the pit stop window certainly opens up for the one-stop strategy, which I think is going to be the one on paper that everyone's been looking at. But maybe it's time to rip out the form book, and that sometimes does happen, and we see it in a lot of strategy calls here, Connery. A lot gets thrown out the window in a blink of an eye. Who has made the right decision? Well, at the moment, time can't tell right now, but what we can say, though, is there are drivers looking at this one. Bordage again looking at the inside then, and he can't get it through 1 and 2. Maybe 3 and 4, gets the run again, looks to the inside again, and for the moment, this time he might get a really good substantial run.
Yep, as he makes his way down the inside, he has to try and complete this on exit, get a good amount of traction off of the corner as Mark Day just has to surrender that position, as we see a couple of cars down pit road, this time by number 9 Thomas Peterson and 71 John Gilmore Smith. They are both down on the lane. A little bit early for the one-stop strategy, but it's definitely within the window.
Yeah, it is within the window then, and it will be looking to try and use the tyres then on the second part. Silver's making some progress then, and actually that is Gilmore Smith who had a little bit of issues then coming down onto the lane, and I think, yes, he has. He's missed his pit box there, Connery, and that's going to cost him some very, very crucial time. Struggled to find it, had to back it up to get back in and get himself back going again. He now gets himself out, so he will drop himself a bit of time that he can very much ill afford. Peterson then is still waiting in his box, so there's damage potentially on the vehicle, and he's there. You can see just how low, just how long he's had to wait on that. Even with the mistake, maybe a penalty of sorts has come his way afterwards.
Yeah, that can be the case, especially it is a sort of weird situation where if your pit box is on the actually splits the start-finish line. If you reverse across that, then it actually gives you a count in the course penalty, which is definitely an interesting one from the iRacing Automated Stewards. But there we go, leaders are in. That is Chad Coleman coming down past the pit road cones. Will anyone be following him coming down pit road? Mike Thompson may also be coming down pit road, and the answer to that one is yes. Number 76 heads down pit road as well.
Yeah, green flag stops then fully in effect right now as they are all looking to try and get themselves down onto the lane. Keep an eye out then for look who tries to get back in. Logan Kress will be the marker then for Chad Coleman. Also a marker will be that driver of the 27 of Corey Silver. Different strategy looking to play the cards, and you can see he's already now come past start finish. So that's going to be thank you very and much. Coleman has lost a lot of time then in terms of losing that. You can see he just gets the 4th tyre going again, and he gets himself out and away then here, and he's lost himself about half a lap here, Connery. Maybe just about a third right now as things stand.
Yeah, but yeah, that's Logan Kress also heads his way down pit road as well. But you have to remember, Jake, Corey Silver has one more stop to go if this goes green. I don't think he can make it on fuel. He definitely won't be able to make it on tyres. And you have to remember also that Corey Silver will have Chad Coleman will have the tyre advantage on this run before Corey Silver pits. So that gap will be closing up for Corey Silver pits. Corey Silver will pit and then go towards the back, and then he'll have to try and chase right back to the front again.
Yeah, that is going to be the key then. We still see some battling going on. Glenn Bowen, I believe, is still yet then to come down onto the lane, and he's waiting for it, and he's taking a long time, and he still hasn't come down on lap 45, and now I'm starting to think he's just running out of time a little bit. Black then comes down onto the lane. Silver then will look to try and make his way past the start-finish line as things currently stand. And while you look back here to Chad Coleman just sitting there waiting pretty in the middle of your pack then. We need to see what sort of lap times he's doing here to see what sort of effect the new tyre's going to have on the already worn tyres that we are seeing, and he gets himself high. Little bit of a wiggle there, but he's all okay then as he looks to try and get himself going. The 30 then will be looking to get himself out, and he is out, and he is a little bit further behind than he was, so struggling there, and the one lap has done very well. Watch out for Black then as he looks to escape pit road.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Black will still be on pit road. Glenn Bowen heads his way down pit road after getting one lead lap, I believe, so that'll be pretty important in terms of his race to try and get above the cut line. That one point can be all important when it comes towards the end of this race. He's only 1 point below the cut line. That's how important it is.
Yeah, one below the point. That is what he needed. Bowen then looks to hit himself on the lane, and he does. A little bit pedestrian though for the liking right now. The 17 machine then, Leoland Bordage, currently leads the event as things stand. He wants that one lap bonus point then as he looks to look for the lane, and he will potentially look for the lane this time by. He gets himself on the brakes. He'll be the last of the drivers then to come through. The 55 of Stanley then will also be looking to try and get himself then closer to the lane. His lap time's 44.5, a big difference then as things currently stand. And well, you can see right now everyone now cycling throughout. They have all come along, and well, it's about finding who is where in terms of the chase. Black will get himself then past the driver of Jeff Dodson there. Lap traffic then coming to effect, but very crucially here, Connery, Mike Thompson in the 76 has got the jump on the man he needed to, but he needs a little bit more now. He needs to find a couple more positions to get himself back into the overall chase fight.
Yeah, he really does. They cycle through, coming down the front straight. Couple of drivers on pit road. Dale Stanley, number 55, 17, Leon Ballage right there. He's also coming off of pit road. Jeff Dodson on pit road as well. So those are your final stops. Everyone in this field, with the exception of James Ray, who did not take the start, I believe, has come down pit road.
Yes, they have, and now you can see the battles now are starting to form. This battle for 12th position, then last of the cars in the lead lap, the 42 and the 43. Smith and Day then here on 47 green laps then. Score complete as we head ourselves over the halfway stage and looking towards this 85 lap event, looking to come towards a close pretty soon. You got Smith then just holding on station for the moment, doesn't have to do anything too drastic then as things stands right now. You got Day, who's just fallen back through the field then after just struggling with the tyres here, and you have to learn to drive a style that suits the car's demands, and that's what Mark Day needs to do here, Connery, in order to progress to the next level.
Yeah, he really does, and he's back through the field right now, so it isn't looking all that great for him right now. He's down 3 positions on his qualifying effort right here. He's in 11th place right now, so not a great first half of the race. Let's hope the second half of the race it will go much better for the driver of the number 43 right there as he tries to chase down the 42, Charles Smith. There's a battle between Dode Hopkins and I believe that was Leon Ballage right there, just going through on him.
Yeah, and there is Bordage then making a move on Dode Hoskins in the 66, and that was for position then 13th and 14th then out on circuit currently here on lap 49 for them, lap 50 of the event. Let's see then how your field stacks up for the moment. Corey Silver then in the 27 currently holds the lead here on a 2-stop strategy then. We are thinking right now has a 5-second advantage over the driver of Brandon Kreutz in second, also on the same call. Backholm currently lies in 3rd position. Logan Crest then in 4th, then looking for the chase, with John Gilmore Smith currently in 5th position from the back of the field. And then you look at the battle then for the rest of the chase. You've got Peterson, Thompson, Black and Bowen. Thompson, Black and Bowen all fighting for a place inside the chase, all looking to get themselves to that magic number to be inside the final 3. But they do need a little bit of help then from one or another just to relieve the pressure right now. You can see the difference in times pretty equal at the moment here in this battle in the middle of the pack here, Connery, right now for 7th, 8th and 9th as well. 10th is Charles Smith, currently rounding out your top 10. He's +2 for the day. Right now the gap's spreading out, and actually Kreutz is starting to close in on Silver in the lead, a 10th by 10th every single lap.
Yeah, they pitted pretty well. Actually, Kreutz pitted one lap earlier, and that could be the difference right there in a couple of tenths of a second. Krutz also currently has the fastest lap of the races again. That time by coming across the start-finish line, Krutz was actually 0.2 of a second faster than Corey Silver. So there's a battle within this little two-stop strategy that both of your leaders are on right now. I wonder who will come out on top on that one. But the leader of the one-stop strategist right now, Chad Coleman, closing in on these guys. He's only 3 seconds behind Krutz.
Yeah, 3 seconds then is the big key. Coleman then looking to make the charge. His last lap was a 41.7, a 42.5 from Brandon Krutz. 0.8 of a second then. The big difference, and there is the call-in strategy then. That is making that big difference. The gap across the line to the leader then, as it all looks to bunch up once again. A 42.6. That's another tenth and a little bit then taken off of Corey Silver, who did only a 42.8 and in draft as well, as he looks to get himself past Leoland Bordage then to get himself then back through then a lap here, who has actually just managed to get himself past Crest, doing a 41.7, a 41.4 even, we could say, from Logan Crest, 41.4 from Chad Coleman. So now you are starting to see them come back in. The gap between second and third is coming down at the same rate to first and second. So for Chad Coleman, it's about catching and passing as quickly as he can.
Yes, it really is, as we may see those front two cars come down pit road in just a couple of laps time, 4 or 5 I would say, but it's looking pretty dire for them right now with these one-stop strategies working so well for Chad Coleman, Logan Crest and the rest. So it was a hopeful strategy. I don't think it's going to work, but I've been wrong before.
Well, we have seen wrong before. There could be cautions that come back into it, and on fresh tyres, that might be the difference. Gilmore Smith then dives it down then on the driver of Dotson in the 15-lap traffic, getting out of play then as things currently stand. I want to bring you back then to your battle going on then in terms of the chase. Looking for it right now. Thompson needs to get himself a bit of a gap. Silver is down on pit road. We're going to switch over to that then, because the 27 then says I've had enough on lap 54 of 85. It's a long way out. You'd expect him to go to about lap 60. Is he cutting his losses here, Connery, or is he looking to try and get as much an advantage as possible for maybe sacrificing a bit of gain towards the end?
Yeah, that's about 5 laps too early for your usual two-stop strategy with an 85-lap race here. So I think he was just thinking that he was losing way too much time to those guys on one-stop strategies. Decides to pit in now, stop hemorrhaging time. But we'll see how this one works out for him, especially in his battle to Brandon Krutz as well come the end of the race. Krutz just stays out currently, so firmly believing in this long second stint right here for the two-stop strategy.
Yes, he is, and he's lost the lead to Chad Coleman. Now Logan Crest will look to come back into this one. 1.2 seconds that last lap. You can see it's visible just how much he's closing coming out of the corner. Now gets himself in the tow, and there's pretty much nothing then that Krutz can do, because he's not carrying enough momentum into the corner. Means he can't carry enough momentum out of the corner. To the inside goes Logan Crest, and thank you very much. Easy as you like. Take some candy from that baby and get yourself up then into second position overall. Logan Crest then looking to try and make the charge, but 2 seconds between him and Coleman right now here, Connery. That's not exactly what he really wanted out of all of this.
No, not really. So Chad Coleman has quite a comfortable lead at the front of the field right now as he gets a little bit of a slide. That car is very, very loose coming through the middle of turn 1 and 2. That's just going to heat up the rear tires. That's definitely not going to help his tire wear. We see Logan Crest just deal with some lap traffic right there. Doug Hawkins not going to trouble the driver of the 30 at all. I'm just trying to look back to where Corey Silver has actually come back out on track. Luckily for him, he is still on the lead lap right now, so he's not going to risk going a lap down if a caution does come out. He sets the fastest lap of anyone that time by, a 41.2 compared to the 42 flat of Chad Coleman.
Yeah, that's a really good job. Also, pay your attention then between Black and Thompson, the 8 and the 76, nose to tail. Has a bit of traffic ahead, though, who's going at a very similar speed. That is the driver of what is the 043 machine of Craig Day. Looking to try and get past that. Thompson then will go to the inside. Not going to have any of it. Black then looking to try and follow in suit and try and get as much of a run as he can. And he will pretty much guarantee himself if things currently stay like this, a place in that final chase. If he keeps himself then into a position like this, they're almost going to go 3 wide coming down to 3 and 4, and that's not going to work out. And you know what? He's going to try and thread the needle, try as he might. Has to tuck back into the line and try and go for the up and under. Does try and go for the up and under there. Let's go 3 wide across your front straightaway as we head to lap 59 for these guys then, and he just doesn't quite have the run there. Does Evan Black? He's trying here, Connery. Give him credit.
Yeah, you definitely have to give him credit as Craig Day in number 043 car just gets out of the way. Actually, he's a lap down, so he shouldn't really be fighting with these guys as he actually does lift out the throttle even though he had a run on the number 8. But what can the number 8 do with the number 70 at 6 ahead of him? Evan Black is one of these drivers looking for the final 3 spots in the final round of the chase right here. So again, he needs every single point he can get. Looking back in your field though, Mark Day, Stefan Vang, they're also going to head 2 wide. Oh wow, we're going to head 2 wide coming down into turn 3. It looks like Mark Day just completely dove it down the inside, managed to gain the position. Actually, that was Charles Smith there he was diving down the inside of.
And you can see right now, continuing on this battle, and Smith then just behind. You got Mark Day there in the 43, still trying to stay ahead. Battle then currently for 9th and 10th as things stand, but that could all change then as Silva's trying to make headway then through the field right now. Will Kreutz come down to lane? No, and he's very, very tentative then on the accelerator. You can see a massive wiggle, a power wiggle coming out of the corner there, and he has to be careful here. We know that the tyres are going away here, Connery, and that gap from what was being ahead, he is now dropping at least a second a lap, 7 seconds now behind Chad Coleman. Kreutz, I'm sure he has to cut his losses now, because about now I'd make the stop. He's going for the big splash and dash with about 23 to go.
Yeah, but he's been about almost coming up to 30 laps on these tyres, so a very long second stint here from Brandon Kreutz. I wouldn't be surprised if he decides to pull it down pit road this time by, as actually, no, he stays out another lap. I'm not entirely sure if this is going to benefit him in terms of his race going this long on such old tyres, but we will have to wait and see as his driver coming off of pit road, as Dude Hoskins just getting up to speed.
Yeah, Corey Silva then dealing with the driver on the inside there. That is Leolam Bordage then, and he also has Stefan Vong there just ahead of him. Goes to the outside, and he has to back out of it there, and that's a crucial back out because he loses momentum, and he's now stuck behind traffic. So Silva's gamble now starting to fall away from him there, Connery. One big error, and that is something you can't afford, especially at this stage. As you can see, side by side they go ahead. Bordage there just to the inside.
Yeah, Vong's just going to be held up to dry as Corey Silva has a massive run coming off the corner, decides not to lift out this time. That's going to lose him too much time. He will take it side by side. This is for position, mind you, albeit there is a huge tire advantage between, tire disparity between these two cars. Corey Silva makes his way down the inside. Will he make his way down the inside of Bordage in the same corner? He will get the run off the corner, but again, running with this traffic is just going to slow him down. And as Bordage actually does get the run off the corner coming off the high, so Corey Silva will have to stay behind him just for one more corner at least, and this is just going to lose him so much time.
Yeah, it is, and it's really, really frustrating him. He does get himself down to the inside, and thank you very much. He finally makes the move that he wanted to do a little bit earlier than he did right there. 42 flat there. That's only 6/10 on the rivals right now. You look at towards the front of the field, he's pretty much matching them. Look at the 8 then against the 9 then as they're going to go side by side here. Battle for 5th position then out on circuit as things currently stand to the inside. Thank you very much. Peterson can't do anything about that. Will look to go for the up and under though, and he might try and get that crossover effect working. Can't quite do it, but it's tucked right underneath there, Connery, and able to go back. Update on the 93 though. The 93 is still out on track and might be trying to go uber long. I think it's a very, very bold strategy then from the 93 machine.
Yeah, and it's one I don't think is going to work, as if things finish right now, both Evan Black and Logan Kress will be in the final round of 3 of the chase here in the Thursday Xfinity Series, but that can all change very quickly, especially if we get a caution that bunches the field back up together. But right now we're looking like we're going to go green flag to flag.
Yeah, at the moment, green flag to flag seems the only way forward, but don't count out this battle for the chase. The 70 of Bowen is not too far away. It's 2 positions, but crucially on circuit in terms of time, it's 0.8 of a second. It can be caught then, and he is in tow that he can use here to get himself forward. Don't count out Mike Thompson either. If issues run into the other drivers, he could be right up there. Outside shot, yes it is, but he still has to try and get there as much as he possibly can. Eyes again on Corey Silver, who is closing in at a rate of not second a lap on Smith and Day as things stand, and Kroot will come down in. He will cut his losses as much as he can. That's going to promote drivers going back up, so Kroot, the gamble, not paying off, Connery.
No, he's going to be desperate for some 4 fresh tyres, 4 fresh boots on that car as the right-hand side goes up, the left-hand side will go up, put the fuel in for the end, and he'll be off and away. So he will be one of the final cars in terms of scheduled pit stop to come down pit road. So all of the gaps currently are representative of the race finished here as Pedersen and Black, they will actually, Pedersen and Glenn Bowen right there, Bowen on the inside, number 70, he's going to try and make his way down the inside when it comes down to the entry of turn 1. Number 9 trying to hang it around the outside. If he can hang it around there, he might get a run off the corner, but I don't think the tire grip is going to be there for them. Glenn Bowen gets the back end out. Actually, number 9 will get the run here coming down the back straight to staying in the slipstream. He'll dive to the left-hand side if he has any sense. There we go, down towards the inside, and this is a fantastic battle for 5th place.
Yeah, Bowen can't afford it. He needs to get back to Black, and he can't get back to Black, and he tries to hold the outside line, and the more that he's running that line, he's going to bring Thompson back into it. He wants to break away. He doesn't want to fall back into the clutches, which the battling he's doing right now is starting to affect here. His run here as he tries to get himself in. Inside again, though, still is that driver of Peterson, who is looking at it, now trying to get the run off the corner. Here is Bowen, and I think now finally Bowen is going to get that run here off the exit, and he will get the run, but at what cost? Thompson right on the back then. Silver is up to 8th position and is now starting to make a menacing charge.
Yep, and I'm just looking at this potential battle. If Glenn Bowen can actually catch back up to the back of the 8, Glenn Bowen actually has a very slight tyre advantage. He has 1 lap fresher tyres than Evan Black right now, so that could be important if they get close together, but he's running out of laps.
Yeah, he is running out of laps. Look at the gap, though. It was at 0.8 of a second a few laps ago. Look at what it is now. That's looking more like 1.8 seconds. So a whole second then battling. He now needs to run at a pace which is a lot more aggressive than people give credit for. Black is running quicker right now and has a bit of toe in front of the driver of John Gilmore Smith. This is a battle for the podium. Gilmore Smith, remember, is so effective at saving those tyres. You feel that he might come into play come the end of the race then, the 71 and the 8. And Evan Black doesn't have to make the move here, Connery. He can stay here, get himself into the chase and focus for that final race of the season. Doesn't have to make the move is the crucial factor, the crucial point in the sentence, but I don't know whether he'll feel that a podium warrants then getting himself then that place in the chase.
Yeah, and you have to remember that Glenn Bowen is behind those 2 drivers, and Evan Black is directly competing with Glenn Bowen for the final, for the round of 3 in the chase. So if he gets held up by John Gilmore Smith right here, he could lose time, give Glenn Bowen an opportunity to get himself above the curve. Evan Black dives it down the inside. That was very, very easy for him. He must be very, very thankful there.
Yeah, he must be very thankful. Gilmore Smith doesn't want anything to do then with the number 8 machine and knows he's a little bit slower then, so has to give that one up then. When all was said and done, Bowen was hoping that there was going to be some pseudo fighting between the 2 of them, that they were going to be fighting it out then for 3rd position, just so that there would be a situation where he could come back into it. He can't come back into it now as things currently stand. Battle going on behind though. Here comes the 76 on the 9, looks to the inside, runs out of a slipstream then, and will have to rely on brute force alone. Not going to happen then for him then. He will try it down the inside. That high line then has been a little bit hit and miss all day long then for certain drivers, but it's worked there for Peterson, who holds the position right now.
Yep, it really does. Thomas Peterson getting a good drive off of that high lane as the gap at the front right now between Coleman and Kress. That is 2.3 seconds on the relative timings. That's Logan Crest is currently running about a 1/10 of a second faster at this stage, but that's not going to be enough. We have less than 20 laps to go, so yeah, definitely not going to be enough. Logan Crest really has to put it into high gear if he wants this race win.
Yeah, Logan Crest needs to find a little bit more, and we'll look at the time again. It does come down. It's 2.2 seconds, though, the gap, but it's stagnant right now. 43 flat meets a 43.1. That's not going to cut it then. Come towards the end, we do have ourselves then just about 13 laps then left in your event, and at the moment, here's a stat I need to bring up to you, Connery. Chad Coleman is not in the chase, but in the 4 races that he started, he's had 4 finishes inside the top 5. This could be his first win of the season, and a very, very crucial win, and this might be the sort of form, Connery, looking into next season for Chad Coleman, which screams title contender.
Oh yeah, definitely. In this series, you have to run a certain number of races early on in the season to be able to qualify yourself for the chase. Unfortunately, Chad Coleman did not meet that requirement, which is why he's not in the chase right now. But as you said, Jake, he can easily be a title contender next year if he keeps running at the sort of pace that he is right now.
Yeah, he certainly is. Keep an eye again, though, on the 70
of car on the back straight, very, very slow. That's Jeff Dotson. They've had an incident on the back straight. He spun right to the inside of the track right there. Good job that's all paved and not grass like Daytona. Otherwise, that car will be looking pretty sorry right now. He just loses control coming out of turn 2. Back end just stepped out, and he loses a couple of spots.
Yeah, we stay green, though, on that instant there. No one else involved. No one hitting the wall there. No issues at all. They keep it going, and fair play to the stewards then to keep the racing action like this. I was going to make my point about Glenn Bowen, then look to try and make the chase right now as we continue live then here from Auto Club Speedway right now. Bowen here is looking to try and make that close gap then to Gilmore Smith. He needs to close that gap down because he needs to get to Evan Black in 3rd position. That is the chase point that Bowen really needs. 43.1, a 43.3 from Gilmore Smith, a 43.1 though from Evan Black. He's not closing on Black, but he is closing on Gilmore Smith, so he can use that toe coming out of it here, Connery, and if he can get the run off of it, get the run off of Gilmore Smith, he might be able to mount a little bit of a charge and get onto the back of Evan Black come the end of the race. Time, though, his major nemesis.
Yeah, we'll be heading towards 10 to go in this race, this 85 lap race here at Fontana. Glenn Bowen almost hitting the wall coming off turn 4. He'll have a fantastic run on Smith coming down the front straight right here. I think Glenn Bowen may be forced to go to the outside. No, he goes towards the inside. Smith defending that outside line as he actually just lets him through like that. Smith has been very, very courteous with the cars coming through on him.
Yeah, he has, and he doesn't want to be affecting the chase. Another big little slide, though, from Bowen, and Gilmore Smith will come straight back. You can see, gets a major run then coming through. To the inside he'll go, and to the inside, he's going to back out of it there. He doesn't want any part of Glenn Bowen right now. He knows he's not in the chase. Bowen's got to do it by himself, but he is running out of laps, running out of time, and he's making too many mistakes for my liking. Black is clear for the moment, barring any incident then coming in to the last few laps then of this event, an 85 lap event then, which is only about 7-8 laps then from completion. Still got that battle. Mike Thompson was looking for the chase, and he is there in the 76. Still got Peterson then just ahead, and still can't quite make that move that he wants to. And now there's going to be a little bit of an issue for both of them because Corey Silver is coming back into it, but the time that he's catching up now has severely diminished here. It's now only a matter of it's a matter of tenths now instead of a matter of seconds, Connery.
Yeah, it really is. Back to that battle between Bowen and Black there is closing up very, very slightly. Even if Glenn Bowen gets ahead of Evan Black, finishes 1 place ahead of him, he's still going to be 1 point behind. Then you factor in the lead lap that Glenn Bowen had, and then there will be all tied up. So this one may have to go down to earlier results. Who has the most highest finishing positions?
Yeah, that might be the case here, but 2 seconds says That's too far for draft range to help. That's too far then, and Bowen is relying on Lady Luck then to come to his aid, and that is not happening for him at the moment. Just to inform you that the gap at the front is stagnant at 2.1 seconds. Crest doesn't need to win the race, he just needs to finish in the position that he's got right now, and he will be pretty much all but sealed then into the chase as things stand here. That final race where only 3 can win it. Evan Black, one of those, and the other one though is the 27, now looking to try and make some gains in the form of Corey Silver. Now he's within 0.6 of a second then, with just his 6 laps to go then in this event, 7 laps to go even, as I correct myself, as he now looks then at potentially 6th position overall then, as he's potentially thinking, you know what, there's still some more points on offer for me.
Yeah, it really is. He doesn't have to worry about locking himself into the chase. He already did that last time out at Montreal in the road course, so he is pretty comfortable right now with whatever result he gets as he looks down towards the inside of the number 76. Again, massive tyre disparity between these two drivers. Of course, this will be relatively easy for each other. I wouldn't say it's very, very easy, but it's not going to cause him too many issues as he dives it down the inside of turn 1 and 2. Now he lines up the 9 of Peterson.
Yeah, he's got past Thompson. Now he's just waiting. Now he gets on the power. Now he uses the overspeed a little bit close to the wall. There was the driver there of what was Peterson just then. And you've got to be careful now, because from here to the end, if we do see a caution, that is it, game over, and the results will stay as they were. So now it's a case of not wanting an accident. Now it's a case of wanting everything to fall in line into place. Silver then gets himself up into position number 6 then, as he now looks at Gilmore Smith potentially further forward. I think he's too far forward though for him to really make any use of it. Any updates on the Black and Bowen battle going on? No, it stays at 2 seconds, very similar to the Crest-Coleman battle that we've been seeing right now, Connery, and I have to say fair play to everyone driving here to get themselves a green flag race.
Still a little bit too early to be saying that, as with the case of the commentator may be coming into effect if we do get a caution. But as things stand, if the race finishes as it is right now, Logan Crest, Evan Black and Corey Silver will be your top 3 that will be challenging for this championship win in the final few rounds of the Thursday Xfinity Series.
Yeah, and they've done so well to get themselves to this stage right now. You can see, though, the battle's still going on. Thompson in the 76, he still won't give up on this one. He still wants a little bit more here to get into this battle right now. He's looking at that 9, thinking, you know what, 7th place would be quite nice, and a few points wouldn't go too far amiss. Remember, Peterson was the lucky, well, the winner actually of the wild card slot, so he got himself through then by finishing in the highest position at Indianapolis. Now you can see here Thompson gets all over the back and thinks, you know what, opportunity with his 3 laps to go, and you know what, try as you might, just can't find anything on the outside, and now lap traffic coming back into play here, Connery.
Yep, only a couple of laps to go in this one as Mike Thompson tries to chase down the number 9 of Peterson as they head their way through turn 1 and 2. Peterson will have the better run coming off the corner. Again, yeah, there's some lap traffic behind as well. Simon Thorne's Craig Day, they're on 2 separate laps. That is not a battle for position as they head their way down into turn 3. The rest of the field, though, is relatively spread out right now. So I think this is the closest fight that you have on track.
Yeah, it is right now. Silver now on the back of John Gilmore Smith, running out of time, running out of laps then to get it done. He's got 2 to do it, and I don't know whether he will or not, or whether there will be a proper fight about it. And by the looks of things, proper fight it will be then as they continue then on their merry way. But look who is just going around turn number 4 to start the final lap then of his very, very successful race that he's had. An hour then hits the clock. Then as he crosses lap 84, start of lap 85, he's got himself out in front. He did the hard work by getting the breakaway here from the driver there at the 30 behind, a Logan Crest. He wasn't in the chase, he was racing purely for pride, and he hasn't got a race win to his name so far. And well, you have to say, hats off to you as he gets himself then into 3. He will come along. That will soon amalgamate into turn number 4, and hats off to you, Chad Coleman. then maybe a title contender for the next season. But for now, he will be classified as a race winner then here as he gets himself a beautiful win at Auto Club. Lights to flag green. Let's look back though. Corey Silver, John Gilmore Smith. Let's go side by side, and they almost touch doors as they're looking to come to the line. Into 3 and 4 they come along. Remember who's got the tyre advantage, and you can see Gilmore Smith up the track, too aggressive, and he will drop the position when all is said and done. John Gilmore Smith gives it up in the end to Corey Silver for position number 5. But Connery, you have to say, a great race all round from everyone as Thompson takes Peterson on the line.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. Mike Thompson with the higher exit into the corner, just carrying that momentum all the way through, all the way to a line. Fantastic last lap pass there from the driver of the 76 to gain that 1 position. But a fantastic race here at Fontana, Jake. Green flag, flag to flag.
Green flag, flag to flag. That is just how we like it here. Let's get ourselves then the official classified results then here from this, your circuit, which is known as Auto Club Speedway. Chad Coleman then gets himself the win in 1 hour and 59 seconds overall. He takes the win by 2 seconds then and takes himself to victory lane ahead of Logan Kress. Evan Black then will come home in 3rd position with Glenn Bowen in 4th. Corey Silver then will finish in 5th with John Gilmore Smith in 6th. Mike Thompson then will come home in 7th with Thomas Peterson there in 8th overall. Brandon Kreutz then, the 2-stop strategy not working in 9th, with Leolam Bordage there rounding out the top 10. Mark Day only went backwards in 11th position. Stefan Wong there in what is 12th position overall, with Charles Smith, the first of the cars, a lap down with the likes of Dode Hoskins, Dale Stanley, Craig Danio, 43, and then the likes of Joshua Medlock as well. Cars that failed to finish, Jeff Dodson and Simon Thorns, and the car that failed to make the start was the 00 of James Ray. We do know who is going through then to the chase overall, but we're going to step aside for just one moment. When we come back, post-race coverage brought to you on iRacing Live. Don't go away. Well, we have gone green to green, and we have found ourselves at the end of what was a pretty simple race then, when all was said and done. A little bit of worries on the strategy call then for the driver who is joining me right now in the commentary box. Then post-race coverage, your race winner in the form of Chad Coleman. Chad, top 3 then you get yourself in. Qualifying was pretty much all but simple for you. Got yourself on the pole, you win the race overall from the front. But the opening exchanges, we saw the likes there. We saw of Corey Silver and Logan Kress always giving you hassle there throughout that event. But once that strategy came into the pit stops, you know, it opened up in your favour.
Yeah, qualifying, we laid down a pretty good lap. That was that kind of surprised me. As far as the race went, yeah, we was racing each other hard the first 10, 12 laps of the race. That was a lot of fun. But I noticed the right front seemed to be going away. It got hot, so I just pulled over and let them go to see if I could cool it down. And after a couple of laps, the right front cooled back down, and we were good after that. Got by Logan on the top right there. I had a run on him. He let me have it. And yeah, after that, it was just trying to save the right rear tire. Man, I really wanted to. I wanted to make this a two-stop race so bad, because after 30 laps or so, the right rear started to give up. The rear tires gave up. You just sliding all over the place. But hell, that's what makes it fun. That was a lot of fun on the long run right there, just sliding the car everywhere.
Oh yeah, it certainly was, and well, you find yourself a victory for yourself. When you've been entering into this event, you've only been to 5 events so far this season. You've got yourself into a position, though, where you have been pretty much in the top 5 every single time, and that has to be pretty successful for yourself. And looking at that sort of consistency, you have to be thinking Chase consistency will be certainly there for next season.
Yeah, with racing season and summer and stuff coming around, I'll probably be able to run about as much as I did this year, or this season, maybe less. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make the next race or not with our racing season starting up. So, but yeah, every time I come out and run with these guys, it's usually pretty fun with Logan and Corey and a couple of guys. It's not bad. Something to do during the middle of the afternoon.
Something to do in the middle of the afternoon. Well, that is your race winner. Anyone you'd like to dedicate your victory to?
Just thanks to all the guys that run the series, and JD Laird and JDR Graphics for the paint scheme. And thanks you guys for doing the broadcast.
Well, that was your race winner in the form of Chad Coleman. Connery Maddox standing by then with the 30 machine even of Logan Kress.
Hello there, Logan. Qualified second, ended up in the race, finishing second. How was it out there?
It was interesting. This race is a lot more fun in the daytime, opposed to the night version of this track. The setup just requires a little bit more skill, and you're on the edge trying to put a hot lap down, and then once the run goes on, once you have laps on the tires, it goes from being tight one lap to wrecking loose the next lap. So it was fun.
Yeah, and we did see that, in fact, with a couple of drivers, Chad Coleman being one of them, the eventual race winner of this one, just sliding the car about all over the place late on the run. So you can definitely see how that would be tricky. But looking towards the final couple of rounds of the season now, you do lock yourself in to the final 3 drivers to try and battle for this championship. But you're up against big competition. Evan Black is there as well, and of course the driver of, I believe it was Corey Silva, also locking himself into the chase last round. So Corey Silva, you know how quick he is. Do you have the belief that you can beat him?
Yeah, I mean, me and Corey all year, the results might not show it, but we've been nose to bumper like in the entire race every week. So it's going to be a competition. Evan's fast if he keeps the car off the wall, so he did it today. So if he can do that again, it's going to be an interesting race next week with the 3 of us.
Yeah, you won't actually be able to see the race next week here on RaceSpotTV and iRacing Live, but you will see the final round of this Thursday Xfinity Series live on iRacing Live in just a couple of weeks' time. Now, Logan, anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Just Glenn, Mark, Corey, and everybody who puts the league on. They put a lot of time in it, and they sometimes don't get the spotlight that they deserve.
Yes, indeed. And, well, that was the number 30, Logan Kress. Back to you, Jake.
Yeah, standing by with me right now is Evan Black. Evan, a day for you, which you have to be happy with. Gets yourself third from starting third in the end. Not many positions gained or lost then in front for the top cars, but for you, you went backwards off the start and had to do all the work to get back there.
Yeah, the car was handling terrible out there. At the start of the race, I was just trying to not crash, so I knew I was in a pretty good spot to advance if I just didn't crash. So
you see everything that has happened for you. Of course, you were having to deal with quite a bit of intense battling throughout the field. You had the likes of Glenn Bowen always trying to keep you honest. The likes of Thomas Peterson, who was there for pretty much the opening 2 stints. And for you, the 1-stop versus the 2-stop paying off here today when you are seeing those drivers who are starting to come through with about 2, 3, 4 seconds more pace than you. Does it sometimes give you a little bit of worry, thinking a bit of doubt, am I on the right strategy?
I was a little worried, but I was pretty sure that the 2-stop wouldn't be able to work because it's just too much time losing versus how much you gain.
Too much time losing versus how much you gain. You book yourself the final place into the chase. You will be there fighting for the title at Las Vegas. And well, for you, is it going to be one of those circuits where you feel that you might be able to strike it lucky?
I think we'll have a pretty good shot at it, at least getting in top 3. I think I might be able to win the championship, maybe.
Maybe we will see. He's hoping for a bit of luck. That is Evan Black, then the driver, coming home in 3rd position. Final interview then of the day. Connery Maddox standing by with the man who already booked his place into the chase in the form of Corey Silver.
I love that, Corey. Quite an up and down race for you, but it ended up being slightly down, finishing in that 5th position. After that relatively adventurous pit stop strategy, you went for the 2-stop strategy instead of the 1-stop. Can you explain the thought process behind that?
There was a good amount of tire fall off, probably a good 1.5 to 2 seconds at the end of the run. So doing some quick math in my head, I thought it was going to work, and it had a decent chance to work, but I had a couple incidents and some pretty decent damage, so it really hindered the speed, so it kind of mired me farther back. A little disappointing.
Yeah, you can definitely see the reasons why you would sort of go for that strategy, because the rest of the guys that were on the 1-stop strategy, the cars were just snaking about the track. The back end was just breaking loose, and we were kind of lucky that we got a green flag race flag to flag right there, but you did lock yourself in the chase last round into above the cut line, into the top 3 in the chase, which will be fighting for the championship in the next couple of rounds. Feel confident you can take it?
Yeah, so next it's a winner take all at Vegas next week, so I'm going to put in all the time I can get. It's a track that I like because it's multiple grooves, so it's going to be slick from what I've been doing in testing, so it's going to be difficult, but I'm going to give it my all and hopefully have a lot better of a race so that I can contend for the win.
Fighting talk there from Corey Silver. Do you want to give anyone a shout out before we go back to Jake and we'll go through the point standings?
I just want to obviously give a shout out to Glenn and Mark for the league, Air Movement and Fabrications for the sponsor for the league and for my car, and just you guys. I'm happy you guys are broadcasting our races.
All right, you are very welcome indeed as we head back to you, Jake.
Well, very much an interesting race on your screen then. The graphics for the championship then. Overall, as things leave, the top 3 then, Corey Silver, Evan Black and Logan Kress. Winner takes all then. Whoever finishes highest then come Las Vegas will get themselves the all-coveted win that they so really, really want to be the champion of the Thursday Xfinity Series. A big thank you, though, here as we leave you with our coverage tonight with all the drivers here, to everyone who has been watching there at home. That has been Connery Maddox on my left. That's been Hugo Louis behind the cameras on my right. I have been Jake Sperry, and it's 3 to go in terms of drivers. One more track, one more chance. Who will put their pedal to the metal and who will walk out a really, really well-deserved champion? You can't find out here. You got to find out next week. Good night.